I always feel a sense of both honor and duty when I ask to speak to students and our youth. I see it as a responsibility, having lived more of life, I can share some wisdom gained along the way to help guide the young, as others have done for me when I was in your shoes, not that long ago. Though I must say, there is much that older folks like me can learn from all of you in this digital age. Let me state up front that I'm a banker by profession, not a licensed financial advisor. So I'm not supposed to give specific investment advice here. As you may know, it is highly regulated industry, and perhaps that is why MAS is in the room. The fact is, there are many experts and specialists who are in a better position to give investment advice. You will hear from them later. But for now, you have me. I'm here to share my perspective on investment in a broader sense, given my role as a banker, an investor, and a parent. As with all of us, our background shapes our thinking. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, banking, so naturally my philosophy and approach are shaped by these experiences. Whether in managing the bank, my investments, or my approach to life, I believe in focusing on the long term and the fundamentals in each area. And I'm guided by a few key principles. The starting point is to invest in your capacity to invest. By this, I mean having the core competence and capabilities to generate recurrent incomes or earnings, usually through a career or business. Of course, there are exceptions, like what David said, marrying well. But seriously, in seeking the best investment, don't lose sight of the fact that all of you are your most valuable assets. And all of you in this room have a bright future. You are young, in a good school, living in a good environment that Singapore provides, and is part of the growing region. The opportunities before you are huge, and time is on your side. So, invest in yourselves. Build your capacity for future earnings through your career or starting a business. How do you do this? Acquire knowledge, skills, and experience. This will always stand you in good stead. unlike material possessions, which can disappear overnight. No one can easily take this away from you. Your education at NTU equipped you well, but learning doesn't stop after you graduate. In fact, there is so much more for you to learn in the world outside. Applying your knowledge and working with others of diverse backgrounds, sharpening your skills and sense of judgment, for instance. The world is changing fast, accelerated by technology advances, perhaps faster than what people and societies can cope with, as evident by recent events around the world, for example, like Brexit, US elections. It's much tougher to predict jobs and careers in the future. With step changes in technology and markets. Some jobs in banking these days did not exist 10, 20 years ago. For instance, data scientists, cybersecurity experts, user experience consultants. There is a huge shortage of talent in fields such as these days. So if any one of you are qualified and are interested, please send me your CVs. At the national level, the Singapore government has been taking steps to prepare our workforce for what lies ahead, such as through SkillsFuture initiatives. In addition to the right skill set, the mindset is key to ensure we stay relevant for the future. Nimbleness and openness to change are crucial. So be prepared to learn, unlearn, relearn continually throughout your life. With the right skill set and mindset, you lay a strong foundation for your capacity to earn. So, the first principle is to invest in yourself and your capacity to invest by building on your capabilities and applying the skills to your business or career. With the ability to earn and to manage your expenses, you are then in a better position to set aside excess funds for investment. For that, there are many options, different asset classes, and investment strategies to choose from, depending on your needs, lifestyle, risk appetite, and what you can afford. There are many professional advisors or fund managers who can help you with that. When it comes to managing your finances, there are so many products and solutions in the market. Do shop around and choose what is right for you. It makes a lot of sense to let the expert handle your investments, given their competitive advantage, and it's what they do for a living. And it will give you more peace of mind to focus on your career or business. But even if you outsource the management of your funds to the professionals, don't do so blindly. You should understand what you are investing in and why you select certain managers and products. Understand basic investment principles, including diversifications, time value of money, valuation techniques, take time and effort to keep up with market trends. Financial literacy is a core life skill which can be readily acquired. And as all of you are our best and brightest, it will be easy for you to pick it up. Now, with every opportunities, you have to understand not just the returns, but the risks. Know how much risk you are willing to take and able to take. And not just for now, because managing your risk is key to riding through economic and market cycles in the long run. That is my second principle, managing risk and staying resilient. And here, money sense is essentially common sense. The age-old principles hold true. Today, for instance, living within your means, saving for a rainy day, only invest in what you can understand and you can afford. Don't borrow recklessly. If it's too good to be true, probably is, there are no shortcut or quick wins. Be discerning when it comes to managing your money and taking on debt. I'm in the business of lending, but I would say be smart about borrowing. Don't roll over your credit card balances because it is one of the most expensive form of debt. Listen carefully, expensive. As with most things in life, it helps to acquire knowledge and skills and sharpen your judgment through practice so you get better over time. That, to me, is how one can manage risks and seize opportunities effectively. Being impulsive will not help. You need to be disciplined. But it is easier said than done. Just to share with you, the consumer debt problems in Singapore, I'm not speaking on behalf of MAS. I know MAS is with me, but it's not widespread. And it's further contained with recent government measures. But the statistics are telling. Do you know that gambling and lifestyle expenses, luxury goods, travel, are common reasons why people get into serious debt? You may be surprised that the highly educated and high-income professionals are among this group. You need self-control and discipline to build and to protect your wealth. And it's not just at the individual level, but also the institutions. Now, let me tell you how intrinsic risk management is to UOB. We help our customers manage risks, and we manage our own risks very tightly. We all think for the long term. Our priority is to maintain a strong balance sheet so that we can support customers through cycles and sustain growth over the long term. I always believe we balance growth with stability. In Chinese, 稳中求进，进中求稳. This means we stay disciplined, selective, and do not go after every market opportunity that comes our way. We do not believe in growing our business for the sake of growth and size. We prefer quality over quantity. Markets and profits go up and down. But with a strong balance sheet and a considered approach, we are confident of weathering volatility and sustaining growth for the future. I have a good, committed team who work hard, and as you may know, life in banking can be stressful. So I often remind my colleagues that the best risk management strategy is to stay healthy and fit in mind, body, and spirit. Remember, life is a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself. It's not worth burning out early. Only when you are fit and healthy can you sustain your earnings and investment capacity for the long term. This ties us back to my first point about taking care of yourself, for you are your best assets, and it is a responsible thing to do. Your responsibilities extend beyond yourself to the relationships you build with others, starting with your family, your friends, and later on to your colleagues, customers, business partners, and don't forget the community. For no matter how smart or capable you are, no man is an island. The third principle I embrace is responsibility. Just to share with you, at UOB, I have 25,000 colleagues. What I look for in our people are 5 C's. Maybe different than your 5 C's, okay, in textbooks. My 5 C is competent, which is essential for you to do your job well. Character. Without strong values, your grades would be meaningless. In fact, intelligence without integrity is dangerous. Change. People with ability to turn ideas into action are change agents. Collaborations. Working with people as a team and recognize that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The best teams compete and collaborate at the same time, bringing the best out of each other. Don't ever let ego get in the way. Stay humble. You may be the smartest person in your group, but you may not be the best leader. And you certainly will not know everything there is to know. The last C is commitment, which helps build trust among people and organizations over time. Indeed, trust and reputation take years to build, but can be lost overnight. History has many such examples of people, organizations, and governments. At UOB, we value the trust that customers have placed with us for the past 81 years. I always remind my team that we must deliver results with the right way by staying true to our values. That is honor, enterprise, commitment, and unity. And we always seek for good profit, which means good quality, sustainable earnings, not bad profit for the short term. So now from the institutions, let's go back to the individual, all of you. Thinking for the long term, building mutual trust, doing good for others and the wider community are core to one's life, and perhaps intrinsic to one's happiness and fulfillment. And that ultimately gives real meaning to the purpose of investment and accumulation of wealth in the first place. So fellow students, just to sum it up, my advice to you is you are your most valuable assets. Invest in yourself. Take care of your health. It's important. I know you have a long way to go, but sometimes you overdraft your health. Stay healthy. And your capacities. Stay strong and resilient so you can contribute and help others around you. As future leaders, you must have the heart and mind and responsibility to do what is right. And the future is in your hand. As the Chinese goes, why I put all this combination? Because I know Nanta was a Chinese university, right? I hope you understand Chinese. As the Chinese say, 先做人, 后做事. Before any accomplishment, learn first to be a good person. Gain trust before you gain success. Strive for good character before good achievements. With that, I thank you for the opportunity to be here and wish you all the best in your studies. And in future, if you are interested in UOB, please send me a CV. Thank you.
Well, Ms. Ray, first off, I want to thank you for your time and to talk with students at NTU. We appreciate the fact that you're willing to share your insights and your knowledge about this. I'm going to guess that many people in the room right now, they don't really know where to start investing. And from the survey results, that's a pretty reasonable assumption. And based on the poll that we just had, and we also received questions from you beforehand, many people here tonight probably worry they don't have enough money or knowledge to start on their investment journey. And they also may just have concerns about volatility in financial markets and whether they can afford to take the risk that their limited savings are wiped out by a really deep market downturn. And so what advice would you give younger people just starting out on this journey?
I thought all of you have the answer already. I already given out my speech. Invest in yourself. That is important. If you invest in yourself, you work in a company, whether it's a small company, big company, or you joint venture with your friends, yourself is important, right? You are the assets. And through that, you can multiply your wealth, okay? So that is one part, right? If you choose not to invest in yourself, you can do any other things, but if you want to have it passive income, you can outsource to the investment managers. There are plenty of investment managers. As what David, the Chief Investor Association said, be knowledgeable, right? Learn as much as possible and diversify your risk. Then I think half the battle is won.
Right. I tell my students that the biggest return they can possibly get is the 3 years that they spend at the university. Just in terms of the increase in salary, it's very hard to find many opportunities that can give that sort of rate of return.
Today, I think you can invest in unit trust for $100. You can do that.
Yeah.
There's no issue.
Yeah.
But I think, end of the day, to me, you invest in yourself. This is what exactly you are doing today. invest in yourself. Right? You must have the passions, invest in yourself. And you're young, yeah, you can afford to take a bit of risk, but invest in yourself. Stay healthy. Right? If you stay healthy, you take care of yourself, then you can take care of others people. Otherwise, other people will take care of you. Right? Simple, common sense. I stay healthy. I exercise every day. Despite pressure from my colleagues, my organization, MAS, but I stay healthy. Because it's very important, you have to have a peace of mind. Right? Important to have a peace of mind. Right? Then you can look at bigger things. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you answered my question. Thank you. Okay, so I think one of the things that's prompting a lot of concern, I certainly hear it from my students, is what we'll call the unprecedented number of dramatic events in the world recently. So whether it's Brexit or the Trump presidency, there seems to be an increase in anti-globalization. That's very important for Singapore, the trade hub, and in nationalistic feelings. And so going forward, how do you see events playing out on the world stage?
Well, it's very difficult for me to comment on the world stage, but I can say something about Singapore, right? Being Singaporean, we're entitled to say something. I believe Singapore is a small country. We are open society. We should continue to attract people to come. To me, it's important. The talent is out there. We have our local talent. We have talent from outside. I'd rather engage them, let them be part of the team. We compete with them together and compete outside. I think that is important because Singapore is a small country. What we have people like yourself. And frankly, Singapore government has done a wonderful job. It's not because I have MAS officer here, but it's true. Right? They have done a wonderful job. This is my first time after many years to come to this campus. It's a beautiful campus. You go to other part of the world, you don't see this our campus. And how much you're paying? You're paying peanuts, okay, compared to the world. So I think take advantage of our infrastructure, of the investment that we have, the stability that we have, okay? Engage some of the external people, let them be part of our team, and we fight the battle together. Right? That to me is the most realistic way. Don't fight against the trend. Engage them, right? Enlarge our talent pool. Work together with them.
Gets back to the kind of the competitiveness in the region and the economic situation. And so, what is your advice for students to try to make the best of this situation?
Okay, Singapore, we are already the top. Okay. Compared to the region, I think all of you already have a head start. Be positive. Be positive. We are ahead of the curve. Right? We just need more people to challenge us, to widen our thinking, to be less Singapore-centric. Okay? We are in this region, we are in the sweet spot. Okay? Take advantage. Right? That is the only way to overcome it. Don't have to peer. UOB, we are a small bank. Right? We could be big in Singapore, but when we go outside, we're actually small because all the countries outside of Singapore, the local bank have a huge market shares. We compete. Right? We must be confident enough to compete.
Yeah. And not pull back from it.
No.
There's a lot of talk recently about how technology is impacting industries and it's impacting jobs. And I certainly hear from my students that fintech may and they're concerned that fintech may end up changing kind of how the financial services industries work. So what do you see for the future in the technology side? And again, do you have any advice for students on how to succeed as these changes occur?
We, as an organization, we embrace it because I think it's important, because through fintech, through younger people like yourself, you are more creative than a matured company like us, right? So if we can have a combination of both, that actually improve our productivity. In fact, we are very actively pursuing this path.
Okay. Well, with that, are we ready to go with the survey again? Shall we take a few minutes and finish the rest of the questions? Then I'm not sure who I should be turning this over to. Okay.
If there are no further questions from the students, I would like to thank Mr. Wee and Dr. Douglas for the very insightful dialogue session.
Oh, it's very fast, huh?
I tell you what, why don't we go through the rest of these questions, and then what we'll do is we'll take questions from the audience.
All right, so while they are still here for the dialogue session, let us move on with the polling session.
This is quite fast, huh?
I really like this.
Yeah. It's online.
So guys, please take out your mobile phones once again, and let's continue where we left off. Is everyone at question 3? All right, is everyone at question 3 right now? If so, question 3 is about what is your biggest worry for your financial future? Not having sufficient funds at retirement, not having enough savings for a rainy day, not having the skill set to keep up with the changes in the economy, unable to fund lifestyle aspirations, or unable to save and enjoy life at the same time. Please cast your votes. Alright, sorry guys, can you please refresh your browser? And we might need to re-key in the password again. So just click on the refresh button, or you can retype the URL again, pigeonhole.at. As for the password, it is UOB NTU 2017. After that, please go on to question 3 and start casting your votes. Okay, I can see the numbers are moving, and most of you have chosen the last option, which is unable to save and enjoy life at the same time. Anyone want to share why this is your biggest worry? Feel free to raise your hand, and you can answer this question if you like. If there's no one, I shall give my own personal opinion. So, for myself, I will also choose option 5, unable to save and enjoy life at the same time. Due to the high amount of expenditure that is required for me to enjoy life, like if I want to travel or want to spend on luxury items, I definitely have no spare money to save, especially as a fresh graduate, our salary isn't going to be that high, and to want to enjoy life and save at the same time is quite impossible. So what are your thoughts, Dr. Douglas?
Well, I mean, I think that it depends on how you approach things. If your primary goal is to get a Louis Vuitton bag straight out of school, yes, you're going to sacrifice on saving and on investing. But there are a lot of things that you can do that there are available now. For example, if you focus on improving yourself, you can go to the internet and do that, right? You can go to Coursera and do that. You can do that for free. There are ways that you can go out and see the world without spending a lot of money. Budget airlines, going by bus, going by train. So I don't think that the two are in conflict with each other, personally. I think it depends on how you approach things and what your attitude is fundamentally.
Thank you, Dr. Douglas. Now let us move on to question 4. Please click on the back button and now cast your vote on question 4. If you were to start investing, how would you build your investment portfolio? So these are the various options that are available to you. Equities or stocks, unit trust, ETFs, investment-linked insurance products, bonds, or the last option, get a fund manager to invest for you. Just try to answer to the best of your knowledge, although some terms may be foreign to you.
ETF is safer in a sense, you just play with the stock market. But I'm surprised they want to invest in equities, which is a little bit more volatile.
From this poll, I can see that all right, now we will move on to question 5. Please click on the back button and cast your vote for question 5. When is the right time to start investing? Now, when I start work, 18 months after I start work, or when I think I have enough capital? For those of you who have chosen now, it is definitely a good choice because due to the future value of money, it is very important that we start as early as possible because every day our money is just accumulating, and if you are not earning a return on your current money, it is definitely not very ideal. So the earlier you start investing, the better. So definitely I'm proud of those who are investing right now. As for the final question, when you start work, approximately what ratio of your income do you intend to save, invest, and spend respectively? So the first will be save, the second will be invest, and the last will be spend. For those of you who have chosen option 1, I'm not sure I can trust you guys because for myself, even though I'm getting pocket money from my parents, I'm definitely not saving 50% of it. I'm probably spending like 80% of it. So the savings, the amount that I save from my pocket money is probably like no more than 20%. So, but I believe maybe when you start work, you may have more money that you plan to save on. That brings us to the end of the poll. Thank you everyone